partner, I don't see how we can.
Not working for me.
Just feels so out of control.
I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon.
Don't be too sure.
Do not take this further. That's the absolute worst thing that you could do.
Willow clearly needs professional help. She's not thinking straight, and Drew is taking full advantage of the situation. He's such a creep, and it's no wonder why people prefer Jason over him. Honestly, at this point, both Willow and Drew could leave the show together, and it wouldn't bother me. I really hate how this affects Michael, but Sam should stay. For years, Cameron has portrayed Drew, and it just doesn't feel like a good fit. I enjoy watching him in other roles, but he doesn't work as Drew. This whole affair with Willow is just creepy, and there's zero chemistry between them. He and Nana are somewhat okay, but even that isn't great. As for Christina, she briefly considered keeping her biological child, but we'll never know if she would have gone through with it. There's so much hate surrounding her decisions. Can we please get through a year without Willow constantly crying? Poor Cameron. This storyline feels creepy, almost like we're getting Shiloh vibes all over again. Willow's character has become ridiculous. Is she really that into Drew? They've written her to be so childish. In my opinion, Alexis and Christina getting locked up and disappearing from the story wouldn't be the worst thing. Just kidding, or maybe not. Why hasn't the pharmacist spoken up about how Ava forced him to give Sunny placebo pills? That part of the storyline feels unresolved. Willow has been turned into Weeping Willow once again, and Drew continues to be a creep. I'm not loving most of the storylines right now, but Sasha putting Tracy in her place, that was satisfying to watch. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Sasha is very perceptive and seems to have Tracy all figured out. Their interaction was a highlight. In the next preview, we see Willow starting to crack under the pressure of her guilt. I also have a feeling Ava will come to regret her involvement with Rick. Why does she keep getting mixed up with men like that? You'd think she'd know better by now. Molly used to be a reasonable person, but her bitterness is going to destroy her career. Christina was wrong for planning to keep the baby she offered to carry for her sister. It's not her fault Molly can't conceive, but Molly's anger is clouding her judgment. Willow deserves what's coming to her. She knows she's married, yet she kisses Drew, calls it a mistake, and then does it again. She even admits to having feelings for him. I hope Michael finds out and divorces her, keeping the kids. Let her run off with Drew and wait until Nana finds out, like mother, like daughter. As for Molly, I wish she'd leave Sunny alone already. Her know-it-all attitude is getting tiresome. I wouldn't mind seeing her character written off the show. Imagine having to read her script and act it out. This storyline is just awful. Willow is losing control over her feelings for Drew, and it's only a matter of time before Michael finds out. The Drew character has been completely ruined, both by the writers and Cameron's terrible acting. Drew comes off as a sleazy pervert, lusting after yet another ruined character, poor, weepy Willow. This is bound to destroy Michael as well. I've been a longtime GH viewer and I love the show, but I'd rather see it canceled than watch them keep destroying characters with messy, insufferable writing. They have such a talented cast, but the bad writing is wrecking them one by one. Where's Ron Carlivati when you need him? I'm hesitant to even start an episode these days for fear of seeing Drew and Willow. Both characters are completely clueless, and their scenes together are just cringeworthy. Thankfully, the other storylines are great. The Davis girls are shining. Sunny's blunder was a huge twist. The Quartermains are as entertaining as ever. And Maxie looks amazing. Now, give her a substantial storyline. But seriously, please make Drew and Weeping Willow go away. Their storyline is unbearable. Also, please don't kill off Sam McCall. It seems like there might be some behind-the-scenes issues with Kelly Monaco and the studio, but Lindsay is doing a good job in the role. The studio needs to rethink any plans to kill off Sam. For the first time since I started watching General Hospital from the very beginning, I strongly dislike this storyline. But I guess it makes for a good bathroom break while watching. Sorry if that's too much information. Old habits die hard. There's a lot happening on the show right now, and the writers are doing a good job with most of the plot twists. What a mess it will be when Willow finds out Drew isn't perfect. Once she realizes Drew and Nina have manipulated her, she's going to have a full breakdown. Another character and relationship ruined, likely just to set up Sasha and Michael. It feels like the writers are breaking up couples left and right. As for Lucky and Lulu, if Sam turns out to be the match for Lulu, and she dies during surgery, that could be how Kelly Monaco exits GH. I don't remember if Sam was ever tested, but I could see this happening. Cameron is just not working as Drew. Either recast him or get rid of the character entirely. And please end the ridiculous storyline with Tracy being jealous of Cotty. Bring back Finn, bring back Marcus as Nicholas, and make Nena and Ava friends like Diane and Alexis. Also, can we stop Carly from drooling over Jason already? Willow Corinthos needs a father figure to protect her. She's never had an older man to shield her from predators like David, Shiloh Archer, and Andrew Kane. Sonny Corinthos fills that role for his own daughter, Christina, making her feel safe and protected. As Willow's father-in-law and the grandfather of her children, Sonny should step up and be that protector for her too. After all, Sonny was once married to Nina Reeves, making Willow his stepdaughter for a time. Willow visited Sonny just 2 months ago, and it's clear they have a fondness for each other. He should watch out for her, especially with Drew taking advantage. Sonny and Jason Morgan should teach Drew a lesson, maybe one that involves a meat hook. Sonny should have handled Rick back when he kidnapped Carly years ago. Jason, meanwhile, has been unfairly criticized for years. Some say he lacks character growth, is an absentee father, or is too quick to act and overly loyal to people like Sonny and Carly. But I love how Jason is portrayed. He's a constant force, always focused on protecting others, even at great risk to himself. His decision to distance himself from his sons comes from a place of love, knowing his dangerous lifestyle puts them at risk. People say he should leave that life, but it's clearly not that simple. Recently, Jason has been ridiculed for rushing to save both Lucky and possibly Lulu. It doesn't make sense. Time was of the essence, and he still took a moment to call Danny while on the way, showing how much he cares. Danny continues to be proud of the father he loves. It's exhausting seeing so much negativity. Let's just enjoy the show. Now, what if the shots fired weren't from Sonny at all? There's a theory that Christina might have dissociative identity disorder. Sonny found Christina devastated at the crime scene and explained what had happened. We all saw Sonny shoot Kate's, but what if that's just the scenario Sonny was playing out in Christina's mind due to her did? Sonny even picked up the gun next to Kate's, thinking it belonged to Christina, and got Jason to dispose of it. Maybe neither of them shot Kate's. It could have been someone from Kate's past. It's also possible that Christina blacked out everything she did, especially if Alexis' car was at the Quartermains. Maybe she has did, similar to Jessica from One Life to Live. Even if she explains why she was at the Q's, does she remember shooting the gun? Or did she leave before it happened and then go to the grave? We all saw Sonny kill Kate's, but there's more to this story for sure. Why does everyone have to be so rude when someone asks a simple question? Are people really that nasty in real life? Someone asked a question, and the response was just to snap at them for no reason. My God. Yes, I blocked that person already. If you make a post and don't want comments, turn them off. You can do that. But if you don't want anyone reading your posts in a group, maybe don't post, or create a group with only certain people. It sounds ridiculous, right? Well, that's exactly what I encountered. Now, as for the Sonny and Kate situation, it's just absurd. Sonny shot Kate's at the home of his son and grandchildren, with his son, a police detective, on site. There were other children visiting, cameras all over the estate, and people coming and going. I really hope that on Friday, we find out it was all just a dream. Why didn't the Quartermain cameras catch Sonny walking across the property? And why doesn't Sonny have security cameras at his own penthouse? Then there's the question of what happens with Sam. Recast? Maybe, but the current stand-in doesn't do the character justice. Perhaps someone else could take over, or they could kill off the character, at least temporarily. But then who takes care of the kids? Quite the pickle. It's crazy how Sonny has the power to stop Alexis from going to prison for a crime she didn't commit but won't turn himself in. I doubt Sonny would even turn himself in if Christina confessed to clear Alexis. And what's even crazier is that Rick turned Alexis in, knowing she didn't kill anyone. Sonny used to be one of my favorite characters, but it feels like GH is really ruining him. Watching Sonny, a murderer, blame Rick for Alexis' situation is absurd. Alexis is sitting in police custody because he committed cold-blooded murder. It makes Sonny look even worse than I've ever accused him of. On another note, I'm really disappointed that we missed out on Jason and Jake bonding on screen. We saw Jake originally angry with Jason, but then they supposedly bonded off-screen. Why were we robbed of that interaction? It's like the writers think we only want to see Jason with Sonny and Carly. Elizabeth can't really criticize Lucky for not being around for Aiden. She's partly why he left Port Charles in the first place. Yes, Lucky was wrong to leave the boys, especially Aiden, but Elizabeth hurt him deeply. First, she told Lucky that Jake was his son, only to reveal later that Jake was actually Jason's. They both agreed to protect Jake from Jason's dangerous lifestyle. But when Lucky found out about Elizabeth and Nicholas fooling around behind his back, it broke him. That betrayal kept him away until he briefly returned to bring Jake home to her. I really hope the writers give us a proper reunion between Lucky and his boys, especially Aiden, and maybe even a reconnection with Elizabeth. After all this time apart, it feels like Elizabeth and Lucky still have unresolved feelings for each other. As for Tracy, I thought it was over last week when Mac confronted her. Now she's trying to control Sasha, telling her what she can and can't do at the Quartermain house. I'm getting tired of Tracy's behavior. She acts like she wants Sasha out of the way so she can have Cody to herself. Carly, on the other hand, keeps putting Jason in dangerous situations. Hasn't she learned her lesson after thinking he was killed the first time? She just uses him, and it's frustrating to watch. And according to a reliable source, Martin Gray is heading back to Port Charles. The timing couldn't be better. He'd be perfect as Tracy's new boyfriend. What a great way to get back at Lucy and give Tracy a friend of her own. Has anyone else noticed that lately, almost all the characters on this soap are either sad, angry, hateful, vengeful, or just plain mean? There used to be at least one core family in soaps that was nice, loving, and had good moral values. Maybe I'm just from a different time period, but it feels like those days are gone. Just saying. Thoughts? As for the current storyline, I think they'll search the canyon and eventually find the gun, and forensics will prove it wasn't the weapon used to kill Kate's. Christina and Alexis will be vindicated, but I doubt Molly will show any remorse for her role in the whole situation. Just my opinion. Speaking of Molly, does she even know that it's her lousy father who threw her mother under the bus? I wouldn't mind seeing Christina become Sonny's successor. I was hoping that Christina would be the one to take down Kate's, which could have set her on a path to take over the organization. It makes sense for a Corinthos to eventually take the reins. Michael is capable, but he's not really cut out for that life, and Dante is out of the picture. While it's sad for Alexis, who always wanted to keep her daughter away from the business, and Sonny, who never wanted his kids involved, it seems like a natural progression. In the past, Christina as a mob princess and reality TV star might have worked. However, the way the writers have portrayed her over the years, making her seem like a constant screw-up, makes it hard to see her turning things around without a lot of savvy lieutenants backing her up. Avery and Donna are too young for this role. Dante would have been ideal back when he was undercover as Dominic. He had a ruthless streak, and I enjoyed the storyline with Brenda in NYC. I even hoped for a Brenda and Dante baby. The same goes for Brenda and Jason during his time in Rome with her. But I digress. Right now, there's an actress, Kate Mansi, who could portray ruthlessness effectively. But the way they've been writing, dressing, and making her up makes her look like a teenage mother. If you've seen her work on Days, you'd hardly recognize her as the same person. Christina could have been a complex character, embodying traits similar to Sunny's, always on the move and not settling down. However, it seems unlikely that the 2024 version of GH will explore this direction. The show has a trend of having characters remain celibate for long periods until the writers decide it's time for a new relationship. If the show is phasing out the mob, Sunny's departure might signal the end of the Five family's dominance. Despite this, I still think there's potential for Christina to rise as a vengeful and ambitious figure. If the writers set her up to be the new Rick and Sunny, I'd be intrigued to see how she finds her purpose in taking over and exacting revenge. John Cates murder trial predictions. I have a few theories about how the John Cates murder trial might play out. First, I think Christina might confess to protect Alexis, especially since Alexis is a suspect because of Christina's actions. In turn, Sunny could end up confessing to protect Christina. Sunny would then go on trial, but he might be acquitted due to the tampering with his medication. The defense could argue that Cates knew Sunny was off his meds and manipulated the situation to further destabilize him. Essentially, they could end up blaming Cates for his own murder. Of course, this is a classic GH move, coming up with implausible scenarios. In reality, Sunny had told multiple people, including the mayor, that he was back on his medication and feeling fine before the shooting. So this scenario seems unlikely, but in the world of GH, anything can happen. A more plausible outcome might be that the gun Alexis discarded is found, but it doesn't match the ballistics. Consequently, Alexis could walk free, the case remains unsolved, and Sunny might escape justice once again. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.